Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. I'm having a fabulous one. Today I'm going to do the Melissa Michelle's Ulta collaboration review. I had picked this up at Ulta when they had the buy two get two free. For $20 I think it's a good deal, but for $10 it's one heck of a steal. I do like 99% of this. There's one item in here, well it wouldn't be 99, it'd be like 90% because there isn't that many items, but the one item I don't like, it's not because I don't like the color, because I think she picked a fabulous color. It is the matte liquid lipstick in Scandy. See if I can get it. There you go, Scandy. It's a pretty color. It's a nude with a light pink, almost mauve tone to it. It's very neutral. I think a lot of people can wear the color. I don't like it for the formula. Now, she doesn't have any say on the formula. It was Ulta's existing formula. She just picked color, which I think Ulta can work on their liquid lipstick formula just a little bit. It's still transferring, and I've had it on for over an hour. On my cup, you can still see transfer. I just took a drink a few minutes ago. You can still see some transfer. Every time I drink, it's less transfer, but I'm still getting transfer. And it doesn't dry all the way down. It's, you know how sometimes it's sticky together? The Real Her had that problem. That one was way worse than this one. That one, I could feel it every time I opened my lips. This one, it's not so bad down here now, but I think part of it might have worn down a little bit. And since it's so close to my natural lipstick, it's just a little bit more intense in color. I can play it off. But if I do this, you can see where my lips are sticking together. Bugs me. Beautiful color, just don't like the formula. So it is what it is, right? Her packaging is very pretty. I showed you the front. Here's the back, and I kind of like they put her information on the back. I think it's really cool. On the top here, there's a big mirror. I'm going to cover it because I don't want to blind anybody. And it says, can't wait to see your looks. And then she put her hashtag down below, which I think is very cute. It's a good size mirror. The thing folds all the way over, which I like. This is where the lipstick was. And I actually kind of like that she went with the liquid lipstick and not an eyeliner, because brown eyeliners are brown eyeliners, brown eyeliner. We all have 50,000 brown eyeliners. And black ones, which are generally what come in these packages, not anything really unique. But definitely think this is a great buy, and I do like quite a bit of it. So we're going to start with swatches here. The first thing I'm going to swatch is the highlighter. It's called Holler. It's actually 3 different colors. I played with it enough that it's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to swatch all 3 colors individually. 2, 3, and on my pinky I'm going to throw them all together. So here's the one. Wow, you guys are seeing my living room. Okay, I'm dropping things now. Y'all can laugh at me. I'm going to leave this bit in. The realness of video editing. There's 2. There's 3. And there's some blend together. There's not a huge difference. You can see this is lighter, a little darker, a little deeper. And then this is the blend. I think she could have done one solid color. The only thing I like the separate colors for is one's a little, when I'm doing the inner eye, I could use them to help highlight it and bring it out for an inner highlight. But most of the time I just swirl it all together and use it. It's pretty swirled together. Show you a little bit more. Definitely got a golden tinge to it, but it's pretty. Very, very pretty. The next one is the blush. Mahala, I believe is how you say that. It is a very mauve rose tone, and that's going to be my comment. Mauve rose tone. It actually goes very well with the liquid lipstick. They're very close. You know what? I'll swatch the liquid lipstick right quick so everybody can kind of see how that matches up. Even if you don't use any of the shadows, this would just make a beautiful neutral face look. Let's say you're not somebody who does her eyeshadow every day. It makes a beautiful face look. So, sorry, I want to get this off so I can do the next round of swatching. The liquid lipstick does not like to come off. I should have remembered that. It doesn't like to come off once you get it on, but it likes to stick to itself. Go figure, right? My hair is falling down today. I give up. I've been flat ironing it every day this week, and the flat iron is the best it can do, which is really funny. But I've had afro puff hair every day, and I mean afro puff, so it is what it is. Okay, here are the eyeshadows. I'm going to swatch them from lightest to darkest. I know we generally do this, but when I get to these, they're so pigmented and dark that it actually, I have a hard time getting it off my fingers and my brush. So for me, just using the color switch, it's easier if I start from lightest and work my way through. So the first one is a matte, and there are 5 mattes, and this is more of a glitter than a gleam, but these are all gleam. These 4 are considered a gleam. This is just a little chunkier, and these 5 are mattes. So we're gonna start with I almost said Holler, Wheezy, which is a matte. Then we're gonna go up to Lola, and then we're gonna go to Teresa. So this is Wheezy. It's a nice cream matte, very close to my color. It's not very pigmented. Here's Lola. And there's Teresa. You can kind of see it's chunkier glitter. The next one is Rosemary, Bing Bing, Canes, sorry. Here's Rosemary, Bing Bing, Canes. Then we're going to go to Beau, Harley, Leah, to Beau, Harley. Come on, Harley. Aaliyah. Now they're all pretty. Some have more chunkiness, and I'm going to show you what I mean by chunkiness. If you can look on the side, there is Teresa. Very chunky. You have to really kind of buff that one in. And some of the mattes are that way too. You have to kind of buff them in. It's a great formula though, for the most part. For the price point, you really can't complain. Now we're going to do brush swatches. I'm using my Eagle Tools double-sided brush with the fluffy and the shader. We're going to start again lightest to darkest, because like I said, these two, it's hard to get the color off. Alright, we're going to start with Wheezy. I'm just swirling it in. You can have a firmer hand with this to get the color. I'm actually going to put this down, because otherwise I'm going to have problems here. Wheezy, and then we're going to come in underneath. It fluffs out nicely. It's a good upper brow color. It's very close to my natural skin tone. I've used it for the upper brow to blend down the color and in the inner corner, but if you're darker, you'll notice this more, but for me, it was almost too much of my same skin, but it's not a bad color. The next is Lola. It's not as intense as it looks in the pan. You really have to build it up to get a lot of intensity. At least I feel. It's a very subtle inner corner highlight. For me. Mind you, I like my Stila glitters and my Moon Dust glitter. It really gives me that bling in the inner corner. But if you want just some bling, but it's not overly bling, you'll like it. Teresa. With the fluffy brush, it goes on very nicely. It's a little sheerer. If you want it more intense, you're going to want to use your paddle side or your shader side, depending on how you want to put it. And then you can build it up. And you can really get that color. Now this is about medium pressure. It's not super light. This is medium pressure. But you can build it up. You see how it's fluffed? And then how I use the paddle. And how I really can intensify it with a paddle. So the glitters are definitely going to be more paddle than fluffing in. Some of them you can fluff, some you can't. Next color is Rosemary. Again, going back and using the fluffy side. Sorry, I'm knocking the table around. Don't mean to. Fluffs in. And it's a good transition color, I think. The next one is Bing Bing. That one's pretty true to color. Even with the fluffy brush, you can see the fallout. If you knock off your brush before you start doing your makeup, before you put it on your face, you don't tend to get that fallout. The next one is, what's this one? Sorry, Cades. Fluffing it in, again, very light. Where if I take my shader brush, shader in, I keep knocking this stupid thing in, and you build it. Again, medium pressure is what I'm using to build it. Fluffing, I use medium to light. See how it's more intense compared to fluffing? So if you're fine with using your fingers, you could probably, especially for like an eye right here, I have a hard time doing that with the inner corner, but it's an option. The next is Tabot. I don't know where she got these names from, I'll be honest, but some of them are kind of cute. That fluffs in, it's a nice crease color. It's cool tone, where Rosemary is more warm tone. So if you're going for a cooler look, you'll like that. Same thing with Harley. Harley is from the cool tone. It goes on better with the brush than it does with your fingers. Harley's probably the matte I had the most issues with, but I'd rather have that build than have it so intense I can't use it. Well, no, take that back, because actually I do like so intense I can't use it. I've been using the Subculture and I had to build it. Here's it is built up a little bit. Again, it's a cool tone. It's not as dark as it looks in the pan. And the last one is Elena. Now this one fluffs in pretty good. But if you really want to build it up, again, I'm sorry you guys, I'm using my color switch in between, knocking the color out. You want to sit there and get a really intense color, you can. So there you go, both finger and brush swatches of all the colors. Now I want to show you what the palette looks like before we go any further, so you can kind of see what I mean by, look at all the crumblies. It does have fallout, but I found as long as I knocked the brush off, I didn't have as much fallout in my face. I had almost no fallout. The only one that gave me fallouts were the glitter. The mattes I was fine with. So just a little FYI. First I wanted to do this is a dry cloth. I wanted to see how it held up. Look at those darker shades. They're still hanging around the end of the day, and so are some of the glitters. The lighter tones do tend to blend off a little quicker. You can overblend these if you're not careful, so that they kind of dissipate into each other. Didn't take me long to do this eye look today, probably 10 minutes. I started out with Rosemary in my crease, and then I brought it up. Then I took Wheezy on the inner and upper to blend that out. Then I took Bing Bing on the outside corner. Now this is 3 coats before I got this intensity. This is a building of color. And if you notice when I swatched, they weren't overly opaque right away. If you want this color, you're gonna have to build it. But I will say this much. Most of these are pretty smooth. They're not overly buttered, but they're smooth. They're not chalky. The worst one of all of them is Harley. It's the driest one of the mattes. And the driest one of the glitters is Elena. It almost feels rough, but you get so much color, so I can't really say too much. Lola, it swatches beautifully. It uses brush, but when you try to use it for an inner corner highlight, I found it's a little harder to work with. I couldn't quite get the bling I wanted out of it, but I'm gonna say this is a out of an A to an F, I'm going to give this a A minus. And the minus comes from the bad formula liquid lipstick, which again, it's not hers formulas, it's Ulta's. She just had to pick a color. And the only thing I would have done differently is if she had realized the formula issues. Maybe she doesn't mind it sticking together. Is a regular lipstick, maybe, or a matte lipstick. That would have been awesome. Just a matte lipstick, regular lipstick bullet. That would have been awesome. Because then I could have played with that. Because a lot of those dry down too, mostly, and at least they don't stick together like this does. I wouldn't change anything. I think she did a beautiful look, beautiful palette with this. For her first collab, from what I understand this is, I think it was very well done. And for the price point, it's not like it's a $60 palette. It's 20 bucks. And if you do the buy one, get one, or buy two, get two, you get this for, 10 bucks when I figured it out for each item. The other 3 items I got were the Ulta blushes palettes. I got both their palettes, and I got me a Z palette. I know. I was looking at their other eyeshadow palettes, but I decided against it. So, but like I said, buy two, get two. It came to be 10 bucks a piece. No complaint from me. Alrighty, well, that's my review. I hope you all have a great day. Take care, and remember, until next time, you do you. Bye!